So it is trail day number 39, Tuesday, July 21st at 8:30 in the morning, and getting back on trail here at the creamery. The road crossing is right there. I spent the night at the drive-in again last night. By the time I waited in line at the creamery to get some ice cream, it would have been dark hiking in the 2 miles to the shelter, so even though we'd walked 10 trail miles, we were just 4 miles from the drive-in, so we got a shuttle back to the drive-in for last night. Tonight we'll either go, because the shelter, I forget the name of it right off, is closed due to aggressive bears, so we will hike 12 miles today and either go to the Tuxedo Motel for the night, or I hear there's camping at a pond, so that'll be the destination, the pond or that hotel, so that we can skip the aggressive bear shelter. And so far it's not hot. It's supposed to just be in the low 90s today, so I know the low 90s is still hot, but it's better than the mid 90s, and it doesn't feel humid at the moment. So, but yes, make sure if you're hiking through this way to stop there at the creamery, charge your electronics, load up on water, and they have good ice cream. But it is a busy place if you get there late in the afternoon. Here's a good view. We just came in over all these rocks. I don't know if it's these rocks or if we'll ultimately go down and end up over there on that rock. But these or that one is what's called the Eastern Pinnacle. But we got a nice view out of it. It's almost 10 o'clock. Ran into some day hikers. I've been talking to them for a while, so. But that's part of the trail to me too, meeting people and, you know, from different places and having good conversations. It was kind of confusing coming over those rocks. They had the blazes for like the AT and blue blazes. And they were all kind of just scattered amongst each other. But if we end up on that flat rock over there, we'll take those views too. So, doing more rock crawling up over all this stuff. I don't know if this is the pinnacle or the other one, or if it's just all I don't know. I'm just glad it's not raining. Doesn't look like we'll have much of a view from the top. And all those big rocks were probably up here at one point. I'm glad I'm getting this part over with before it gets too hot. It'd be baking up here at like 2 in the afternoon. Now there's a white blaze right there. I don't see the next one though. They do pretty good about blazing and then they'll just dissipate. But it looks like the trail's right there. So the easiest way down, yep, there's the next blaze. So sometimes there's just a bush or something like that in the way, and you have to look for it a second. It's always easier going up than it is going down. But there's plenty of little steps to step on. It's just when you're stepping down, it gives you an illusion and makes you unsure. Yeah, all these rocks are cracking loose and we'll end up down the hill some point like all those other ones we saw. Well, that's our morning rock scramble. So we made it to the wildcat shelter. It's 0.2 miles. And unless it goes down a steep downhill, I'm going to visit the shelter and take a break, mix up a Gatorade, and evaluate how much water I'm going to need to get to the next water source. I brought a liter from the creamery. I didn't figure I really needed it, but you never know. I mean, you could slip on those rocks and hurt yourself or something where you couldn't walk, and you'd be there for several hours, and then you'd need that liter of water. It's not too far, so I always try to carry a liter on me, even if I don't think I'll need it. So I'm leaving the wildcat shelter. It's about 12:20. There was a dude down there at the shelter with his dog. He's talking about going to the creamery and trying to find a ride, so he come up. I had to go down to get water. He come up to get the number for the shuttle driver, and we just got to chatting, and here it is 2 hours later, and I'm back on the trail. Even when I get up and get started early, I still don't go anywhere. It's all good. Had some good conversations, so. Looks like we got a lot more of those rock walls. I kind of wonder about some of them, like this one. That's a wall, and then like a hole, and then there's like more walls. And I've seen some before that was like, I don't know if it's like a retaining pin of some kind, or if at some point they were used in some military fortification. I mean, I know there was no Civil War battles or anything fought here, but that doesn't mean that there wasn't like military encampments or something, because even in the southern United States there's places like, I think it's Skidaway. It has Skidaway Island off the coast of Georgia. It has like all this fortifications and stuff, but there was never a battles fought there. I'm sure somewhere in the pages of history are the answers, but I don't know them, so I just have to wonder and speculate. I think we have a waterfall coming up here in just a little while, so we'll be sure to check that out. That'll be our first waterfall of the trek. Fitzgerald Falls. I'm sure it's pretty after heavy rains. Not much to it at the moment. And then it looks like we gotta go up the staircase to the top. So this is up above the waterfall. Kind of like a smaller one. And we just came up all the stairs. And now we gotta go up over all that. Which we're not going over the big boulders, just like a little around the edge. So it doesn't look too bad. So we just came through all those rocks. They weren't too bad. And then stopped here, take a break. Had a liter of water with some fruit punch mix and some sour gummy worms. And now we're headed back north. It's almost 3 o'clock. So it's starting to cool off for today. There was a nice breeze blowing through here. I almost wanted to take a nap again. But I didn't. And we're moving along again. And we have a pond coming up in our near future. And that'll be our, there's a creek right past it. That'll be our water source. And it looks like the trail's gonna go right through there with all those rocks. So that's the trail we just came up. Mosquitoes are relentless today. Sometimes you get a sense of like deja vu. Like I've been here before. Even though you've never been here before. I've just been over rocks and the grass. This kind of reminds me of parts of New Jersey. But the trail hasn't been bad today. The worst part was the climb there coming up from the waterfall. And that wasn't really that bad. So I guess the pond boardwalk does not exist any longer. I went by a dried up mud bowl. I don't know, maybe 100 foot in diameter or something like that. It wasn't very big. There was no boardwalk anywhere. And then just north of it was like the ground was muddy, like maybe a spring. It was about dried up. And it said pond boardwalk and then stream. So I'm assuming that's what it was talking about. But here comes a little boardwalk thing here, but we're almost to the road. I can hear cars going by. And the one in the guide would have been several miles south of the road, so much for a pond and a boardwalk. Now we get to this road, we're like 3 miles from being done for the day, and it's 4 o'clock. So not too bad considering I spent a lot of time jaw-jacking with other hikers. Yeah, we're getting real close to the road. Some of these boards are going to need to be replaced in the near future. Yeah, I'm digging to take a long break during the heat of the day. It makes a big difference. Nope. This is it. Pond Boardwalk. Maybe they had their mileages wrong, because I can hear the road right there. Oh, that's kind of cool. So, we just crossed the road, and it looks like they've piled all these rocks to make the Appalachian Trail. Because there's no rock that way, there's very few rocks that way, and there's a ton of rocks right here in the middle. So anyway, we got like 5 miles left to go, and then I think it's like a 2-mile road walk, and it is 4:30. So 7-ish, I'm guessing, we'll be at the hotel. Something like that. It just depends on the terrain. And then I've been told there's a water cache at the next road crossing. So that'll be good. We'll stop there in like 2 miles and down a liter of water. See why I try to look at mileage and make timelines, but then I say depending on the terrain. It actually looked worse from the bottom than it really is. From the bottom it looked like it was just boulders all the way up. But only part of the way. It's cooled off some, but it's still hot. And if you slow down for a second, here comes the mosquitoes. Right for your ear. I don't know why they go for your ear. It's like they want you to hear that they're coming. You go left, and you go right, and then there's another blaze way up there. So this is going to be fun. Because that's pretty steep. I don't see any blue behind any trees for quite some time. And it's almost 5:30. The road, not the one we need to get off for the hotel, but the one before that, is just on the other side of this, however tall it is. But maybe the path through isn't that bad. Yeah, it's not too bad. They have rocks turned and laid, so if we can just outrun the mosquitoes. Well, the bottom part wasn't that bad. This is another story. It's still kind of like steps. Yeah, if you hike the AT, you're signing up for a little bit of rock crawling or climbing. Yeah, you can see daylight up there now. Whew. This isn't the funnest thing in the heat, though. I will sure be glad once the middle of summer passes and it starts cooling off. But I'm going to take the pack off right over here by this rock. Mix up a Gatorade and rest a minute. So here we are at the Tuxedo Motel. There was somebody sitting at that road crossing in the parking lot, and got a ride from them to the motel. So it is 6:15. We are ahead of schedule. So we just have to start back at the East Mombosa Road. And that is it for today.